Alright.
Hello, everyone. We're starting our Parks Board meeting. Would you like to call the roll?
Chairperson Pat Rawlings,
Here.
Vice Chair, Ruth Ann Gilbert. Here. Board Member Cody Abbey,
Here.
Board Member Justin Camp, let me know he wasn't gonna be here. Board Member Elizabeth Maurer, here, already. All Board Members Becky Denton, here, and all Board Member Monica Rushing, here. And our liaison, your liaison is here as well. Thank you.
Okay, great. So we have a quorum. Okay, and it appears we have someone here, Heather Wiley, is that correct?
Evan, yeah.
Evan? From, oh, I didn't have the paper.
That's right. I didn't put it on there either.
Heather from Double J Golf Course. You were going to talk to us a little bit about your thoughts and such on this spectacular.
Yeah, we're very excited to host it. It's going to resemble pretty much a lot like it did last year. The golf course will be representing with golf carts too. I'm their
Do you have any idea how many?
point of contact.
Okay, cool.
That's all I get. We're really short staffed right now. We may not have a building.
Oh,
Okay, that's number one. We're demoing it by the end of October. I'm guessing probably around before this, but we do have on-site facilities for bathrooms, food truck.
Are the on-site facilities the ones that were at the square?
Yes.
Okay.
So we're working on getting those up and ready. Other than that, we're gonna provide hot dogs, sausage wraps, beer, wine, Gatorade, waters. And we'll have a mobile unit, so cash and credit card will be available.
Oh, good.
right.
Margaritas were also.
I know, I don't know how they did that, but I might be able to do that if that's the request, of course.
I mean, I'm just, because it's tradition.
Okay, if it's traditional, we must.
Yeah.
It's precedent. So if you have any questions to me, is there anything that you need further? I know you have your own generators.
There was some discussion about possibly contacting the snow cone people.
Okay,
I've not communicated about
Okay.
that.
I
okay.
just thought that might be something the children would enjoy a little bit more. I didn't know if you might.
I can look
want
into
to
it.
do that. I'm sure it's called shaved ice.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna look by Brookshire for a while.
Thank you.
I have Allison's number.
Okay,
So is that,
Would you mind giving me?
yeah.
this? Oh,
and my only concern with that was it cutting into your refreshments. Or is there some way?
I thought probably shaved ice will maybe like charge a fee or something to be there, and we will pay her.
Okay.
And, I think.
Yeah, but it would be competing with the refreshments from the. golf
It's
course.
shaved ice.
It's shaved.
I mean,
Welcome.
Yeah, I mean,
You're only, you said hot dogs and drinks and.
and
They'll be doing.
sausage wraps, things that are very
Adult.
affordable.
Yeah, and kids have shaved ice, they had their hot dogs.
Yeah, I don't see that would be a problem.
I don't.
Okay, just wanted to check that out.
Yeah, for sure.
Step on your, the
Sounds
toes.
fun.
Okay, cool.
And y'all have a flatbed. We also have one if you need it.
I think you still have your big truck.
I think it's the trailer that you have.
It's a gooseneck. Big one. I don't know.
Yeah.
If theirs is available, I'd rather use theirs. I can always bring mine, but I'm dragging it from Round Rock to here and back, which is why I had to stay parked for a couple of days.
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah, that would be much.
And you guys are taking care of your own power source, right?
Yeah, I've got the generators.
Okay.
We would have to make sure it was safe with the railing though.
We do the same thing we do with ours. We'll have stay pockets on it.
Do you think all of them have that?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
It's a DOT requirement.
Oh, okay.
Do we need to know the length of yours?
Right now I don't, but I can find out and get it back to you.
If it's a gooseneck, it's probably big.
I would think so.
Where do you have it parked? Is it at your facility?
We have it at the maintenance, place on the golf course. Which is,
The main maintenance bar?
yeah,
I can look over the fence at it. I'm 2 doors down.
there you go. Let's do that.
Okay.
I don't know where it is over there, but it's not that big of a.
And it would be nice to confirm if it's the same height as the stairs.
Probably is unless they have low void. And if not,
We're
it's.
talking about
they
things
need to-
that I don't know.
I'll go check, I'll go check it out.
So,
Let's see, anyone else have any? I know that the public comments were not necessarily supposed to interact, but this is really kind of an anomalous situation, so. Anyone else have any questions about the golf course?
Can you water
uh,
it? You can?
we're praying for rain. We don't have any way to get water down to it. There are no sprinklers there. It does look very crispy. I can follow up with the new super. The old super said no. I'll ask the new super if we can run some lines down there, but
And that's what the water outside.
I know.
She's got a phone
Well,
call.
it would be.
Yeah.
They're commercial, yeah.
If they could just hook into that somehow.
But between now and then,
Maybe it's
surely.
Well, it's supposed to rain in the next day or two.
Austin last night, everybody started.
Yeah.
Rain 2.5 inches in August.
Oh,
Yeah.
it just doesn't rain here.
45 miles away.
Put a liner in the back.
One question, and we kind of talked amongst ourselves about this, so maybe someone's already brought it up to you, but I thought it'd be really fun if maybe the golf course could do like, as some of the prizes, maybe like around the golf or something for some of the festival.
I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah, and especially like, it might be cool for some of the kids that have never,
Absolutely.
made it before. My son just got a set of golf clubs yesterday.
Okay, no problem.
Everybody watched right, they didn't realize it was a voice for one.
Oh,
Is that something I need to give to you guys prior or on the day of?
I mean, what would that look like for y'all? Just like a little certificate or piece of paper?
We
Like,
have-
get something?
Yeah, yes. We have little, I mean, I don't really have a presentation for
It
it.
doesn't have to be pretty. I think
It's
it's an envelope.
An envelope that has,
as long as it works, it'd be great.
yeah, you just bring it into the pro shop.
I think if you, we could even put an envelope, just we label them for which category they're for.
Yeah, if you let us know, maybe a week or two
Okay.
before we get
No problem.
down. So that could be, incorporated with the.
Okay.
Thank you for everything.
Am I dismissed?
Yeah, thank you for showing up.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely, and if you've got my number, if y'all need anything else, just let me know. And then we'll just see what happens with the building.
Okay, great.
Very
And we
excited.
will have the signs out there thanking Double J.
Yeah. All right, guys, and I believe the Gambinos will be here.
In costume.
I don't know yet. I don't think Joe would get in costume. All right, y'all have a good one.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, so, that, believe it or not, was the public comments.
No, that's.
But it was a good opportunity to interact with. Okay, so do we have any, have a motion to approve the minutes from August 16th, 2023?
I move we approve the meeting minutes from our regular parks meeting scheduled on August 16th, 2023.
I second it.
Okay, so is everyone wanna-
Vice Chair Ruth Dangover,
Aye.
Board Member Cody Evans,
Aye.
Board Member Elizabeth Mauer. Aye. Did I say aye? Oh, Joe. Board Member Becky Denton.
Oh, because Justin's not,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, you're the first one. You feel empowered.
You can discuss in the world.
So is that, okay. And, Bob, got anything to tell us about from your position on high?
We didn't have liaison reports yesterday to report to the council. And that would be more information than what I would possibly give to this council as it is. You've already given me a complete report. I know what's going on.
Okay,
that I would have been happy to pass on if it.
and they didn't do reports?
The agenda was very full.
Oh, okay. Oh, well.
So you know as much as I do.
Okay. But there were no, gotchas?
No,
that,
no. Now it's good.
It's always nice to know if things are going on that pertain to.
No doubts.
Report by the city manager. Kevin is not here, but I've communicated a lot with him.
As far as I know, the cornhole has been ordered. I don't know about the ping pong table. I haven't been copied on it.
He was playing telephone tag with the people for the ping pong table today. And supposedly that was ordered. We have ordered the parking lot for Creekside from leveled construction. They are also doing half of the work over at Augusta Park. I contacted the Poochies several times, and the communications in the most euphemistic manner were a little problematic.
Were the cheapest, or were we?
They were the cheapest, but we had not gotten a quote from Level D.
Okay.
And his quote ended up basically matching what Poochie's had for the part that we were getting done.
And they were responsive.
We can just move on.
And the Level D, yeah, the Level D, well, because he did the slab over there, because he's done work and has been paid, it's kind of nice, you know. We kind of got a relationship going with that, so. And, but I told him to hold off on the parking lot at Creekside, because I met today at 11 o'clock with Bart, who is the foreman for the installation. And, he said that if we put the parking lot in before he got over there with all of his skid steers and stuff, it'd just tear it to pieces.
That's good information.
So we have delayed on that. The other thing though that came out of the meeting today with Bart of Cunningham Recreation, I think he might be a sub in Cunningham Recreation, is that he is concerned about the stumps and the stones and such over there. And we walked around and looked at a lot of things. We actually had to relocate where the merry-go-round thing went, because it wouldn't, we went over there with a tape measure, and some of these things weren't fitting exactly as they looked on the plan. So we're moving the whole major playground over where the side of it is adjacent to the fence on the creek. And that way it will avoid running into trees and such on the other side. He was very thorough and looked at his dimensions and stuff. I was surprised with some of this stuff.
Okay.
And the merry-go-round is going to be back in the back right-hand corner now. And then the swing will be on the other side of the park.
It's back.
The merry-go-round is gonna be in its own precinct, its own enclosure.
Maybe. Yeah. Is that a problem?
It's just, I don't know, there's gotta be a cost associated with that.
He said that the only cost was the borders.
Mm-hmm.
The borders are about $60 a piece. And he said he had about a half dozen borders that are in his garage at his home that he salvaged from other jobs. So he can supplement our borders with that. It still won't cover all of the borders, and we'd still have to pay for the pins that hold them in place, which are about $20 a piece. So, plus, because of the concern over the stumps and the stones, we are going to have to hire someone to go out there with an excavator, with a backhoe, to pull up stumps and to pull up rocks, and you're too busy to do it.
I could do it on Saturday, see the backhoe. Wonder if Alpha Paving would want me a backhoe.
Wow, well, you can check. I'm getting a quote from Level D Construction, and he estimated a couple of days at $850 a day.
Did you check with the butlers?
Hey, yeah,
I asked Butler for a quote, I sent him an email request for a quote, and never heard back from him, but that's no different than any other business in the world.
yeah. If you know Janice, well, that would be very helpful to say that.
You know, the golf course owns a backhoe too.
Mhm. Well,
And we
I,
marked what needs to be removed. And we
I
marked.
went over today at about noon with orange paint, Eglin paint, marked everything.
Did it was 2 days to do everything?
He thought it was between 1 to 2 days. There's a whole lot over there.
I'll have it all removed before lunch.
You're gonna ask Janice if you
Yes,
want-
if they can have a quote on backhoe rental for a daily
Okay.
rate, that would be fantastic. And then I will ask
Yes, and then I'll.
a couple of people.
I got an official quote.
$850 a day?
No, from Butler.
Oh, you did?
Butler, yeah, it was 500.
That's fair.
Okay. But if you have a neighbor quote. Parks and Rec, in-kind donation, an in-kind donation, yeah. That's the way.
That's the way.
That's the way. Would you like to make an in-kind donation?
Well, let me just talk to her now.
Yeah, just talk to her. She has helped out before.
Yes.
Um,
Certainly helped out the golf course.
and, I guess we have gone to agenda item number 3 before we went to number 2, so just for the record. And let's see, he's also doing the DG, Level D is doing the DG. At the same time, they do the DG over there by the parking lot. They're also gonna do the stuff on the cornhole. Ross Griswold, can't remember who found that estimate, you found that one. Ross has been communicating with me, and he was going to be installing the gazebo Wednesday and Thursday of this week. But he was concerned about the rain, and he asked if he could delay it till Monday.
I wish you'd show up just so it would rain. That'd be,
Yeah.
that'd be a good one.
You can't wash your cars. You just. So anyway, and we will also need to get a cherry picker from
Well,
Butler.
yes, but I thought we'd wait till he gets,
Oh, yeah.
we can talk to him
We can
and
do
tell
that.
us exactly what he needs.
Yeah, he's gonna have to be on the schedule for delivery.
I need.
Yeah. We have yet to officially put the word out on the, donated benches and such. We talked about it a lot at the last meeting, but we haven't done that. And so we need to get the word out. And I guess that would be like a city email and social media.
Mhm.
Okay.
Who's gonna coordinate with Suzanne for that?
Suzanne. Is gonna
By
record.
myself,
Um,
donated bench option.
let's see, you guys remember the 3 options we had. We had the one at the triangle that was the,
Composite wood.
composite, it looked like wood, but it was composite. And then we had 2 thematic ones for Creekside and Augusta. One of them was, what were they?
Like acorns on them or something.
Insects, like.
Well,
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, something like that. In the, you know, the back of the bench.
Mhm. Yeah, so we need to, and we already have 3 of those accounted for. Aurora LeBrun, Gloria Whitehead, and my wife and her 3 sisters who all have homes in Woodcourt. Are doing, so it's gonna be one donated by the Evans sisters.
You have 3 sister-in-laws living in town? Never mind.
Fortunately, we have 2 living in town and one, but it's definitely more to the benefit than the detriment.
that.
It's very helpful.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of, a lot of folks. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I have just been coordinating this, based on, I'm not deviating to my knowledge from any of the stuff that we'd already voted on and agreed upon. And so I'm just acting as kind of the person to flip switches as we go through. Is that okay with you guys?
Fine with me. You're the one that's retired, I'm not.
Today I didn't feel that way.
No.
Yeah, I've actually got a paying job I've been working on for about 3 weeks.
Oh,
It's never ending, but I'm learning how to paint again, so that's,
Welcome.
yeah. Let me think. And I guess, is there anything else on the parks we talked, yes, ma'am?
On the bordering thing, the, for the box.
I realized I forgot to send that to y'all, that's what I just did on my laptop.
Okay,
So I resent
yeah.
the info to you and Kevin.
Okay, and then are we just gonna have you, Pat, make the rule, make a sign with the rule?
I will, yeah, I'll find the rules and pretty them up and have them made into a sign. And I would like to ask you, give you an action item if I could, to do some research on existing plant signs that you can get.
Purchase, ready for purchase.
Purchase. Now, I know they won't be pre-printed with the exact words, but I can't help but believe there isn't somebody out there that specially make little plant signs that are a little piece of aluminum or something on a piece of aluminum that's been over and you stick it in the ground or something.
Rather than you making it.
Well, I can do the artwork for
But
it.
it's good.
I just want to know.
Get it in the ground.
Is there someone at Market Days that does that?
Someone
I
wearing
think
it.
there's somebody at Market Days that does that. I think there is.
Okay.
I took some pictures of some nice ones at the Kerrville Nature Center. And I don't know if you wanna wait till spectacular's over to get going on that, but I do have some thoughts on that.
We don't have to wait
We don't
to
have to
do
wait.
that. We can do that in parallel. But I wish you would be fairly
Yeah,
specific about what, what we should use
I
on
can
that.
do that.
I can work the big signs, but the multiple little signs, I was hoping we could find somebody that would be able to sell us a bunch of them, and we just drop images in a file and they'll print them up and ship them to us.
Oh, got it. I see what you're saying. Oh, okay.
Or even better, we give them a Word document with all of the names and they typeset them, put them on the signs and ship them to us.
Okay.
Would A to Z do something like that, or probably not metal like that?
It's not in their wheelhouse and they just end up paying somebody else to do it and we have to mark up.
Charge out.
Yeah, I've talked to them about signs in the past, and I use A2Z for all my paper printing, but I don't use them for, sign. I use it for banners sometimes, but mainly, they're good people, they do great work, but I use them what they're best at.
Well, I'll get some about that. Do it parallel with the spectacular, and then the big sign for the rain garden that comes from the Meadow Center.
And we already have that.
Are
It
we
just
ready
needs-
to work
I
on
mean,
that?
yeah, we already have the graphic for it. I can look at it and see if it needs any edits.
And then, the one at the golf course, it's not the same, so we need to look at the two. It is also from the Meadow Center, but it's a little
Okay.
different, compare the two. Maybe you and I need to do that.
Okay. Okay, but if you could kind of take the action on the signage, the content, and a possible vendor for the small signs at Augusta.
Okay.
Okay. What else do we have with the parks?
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Sean and I are cleaning out the shed
Uh-huh.
before office hours, and we literally just found today, like little stakes with signs that look like they could be used as a park.
Really?
You can look in there if you want.
Well, yeah, if you have those, yeah, pay to look at those, and maybe Becky, you can come look at them and see, you know. Snap a
Just
photo,
wanted to throw that out.
snap a photo, yes, please do.
Yeah,
Did you find some spectacular items in there this year?
there's,
Our banners.
there's so much stuff in that tag.
Yeah, I think they.
I have a spectacular tote. And there are some banners in the corner. I have yet to unroll them.
The banners should generally be good, except I just need to change some dates on them, I think. And I can do that and stick them on, so that way we don't have to pay.
Are you doing that in the morning too? What time?
Possibly have been here at 9,
Okay.
not too much.
I'd just like to see what's in there, and then I can get with Karen and see what she still has, or where it is a little pumpkin cut out, and, you know, people get the pictures.
There is cutouts in there.
Okay. That's fine.
I don't know if it matters, but we haven't got the spectacular, that's trying to clean up all this stuff. No, it's okay, but this is a hybrid discussion between parks and spectacular.
I was
No, oh, okay, oh,
It makes sense.
it did, anything else?
Well, the note, including any non-park board generated activities overlap into or impact the parks, was there a reason for that being added into the agenda?
Yes, there was. I have gotten a communique from the co-founder of the community garden. She wants to talk to me about, things that they can do with the parks and such. And I heard just via the grapevine that they are going to, sell the seeds, and they were going to, place the seeds for wildflowers at Augusta Park, at Creekside Park,
No,
and at the Triangle.
the triangle, the front entrance, and Augusta. It's on there. This is the special.
Oh, so they've changed that, okay,
That's never been the intent. It was.
okay, I'd heard from someone else different.
I mean, the gazebo with some wildflowers would be some cute pictures.
That would, but the Triangle, Augusta, and Veterans Memorial, and their description of the event is,
Sure, go ahead.
mid-November is the best time to see bluebonnet and wildflowers for the spring season. We like to host wildflower stomps at 3 park locations to feed those locations to create a more beautiful spring ambiance. We're encouraging community participants to walk to their closest park to participate versus driving. This will build community connections throughout Wood Creek. We'll provide the seeds to stomp as well as the kids craft. At least one community garden volunteer will be at each location to provide guidance.
Great.
Sounds good to me.
It sounds great. The only concern I have about wildflowers at the Triangle, I guess, is the church that I go to has a bunch of wildflowers they plant all around the church. And it has caused kind of a little friction between 2 different factions in our church. We have the people in the church that love the wildflowers, but once the wildflowers stop blooming, they want to mow them down completely. I'm in that camp. I know it's bad, but in this, but let me keep going. But, you know, you still have to wait for a couple of months until they drop their seed, they go to seed. So are we going to have the whole Triangle look unmown for 3 months?
Well, in my opinion, I would think that that's what we would want to do, to encourage people to learn about native landscaping and to save water, since water is getting to be a big issue. This could be a perfect example.
It's an educational opportunity, but why?
Or do we have to do the whole Triangle?
No.
No.
Let's just try, let's,
Leave a space for walking.
Why don't we just do the flower beds, the triangle?
Right.
let's just try not mowing it the first year and we can all fight about it for 3 months. Let's just try not mowing it the first year and we can all fight about it for 3 months. It'll give all of us something to do.
No, I guess, I'm thinking the hybrid.
Yeah.
I think hybrid, if we could, like Elizabeth said, have access to places like, if we have an event, let's say we have an event at the gazebo and people want to come out with their chairs and stuff. Are they going to be sitting in native wild vegetation that is 2 feet tall?
No, I think hybrid is the way to go and to mark the places where they can do it. I mean, yeah.
They're gonna have a volunteer there.
And
I
that's
already told them
why
I'm having
the
it.
line item is worded in the way it
Yeah.
was.
And the person you're communicating with on this is, right, Claire, is it Claire?
I think so,
Yeah.
yeah. She emailed me, I emailed her back, or anyway, I owe her an email. And I'm not sure, is she the one that's dealing with this, or is that something
No,
totally
it's somebody
different?
else.
Okay. Well, apparently, this is something that,
Oh, no, she's one of them. I'm sorry.
okay,
Claire Palmer and Cheryl Miller.
yeah, apparently, this was inquired about without ever talking to anybody at Parks. And you can see why it would be a concern if the triangle is an area that we're going to use for something other than just driving by and looking at flowers.
Right.
So,
Well, can y'all just give them a create a
Yeah.
flower bed?
Right,
And that's the only place they can do it.
Right.
What about if we seed it with a native turf grass or like buffalo grass or something like that, so something would grow there?
let the land
And
do
we
that
know
initially.
Maybe it needs to be updated.
Yeah, well, and after they did the slab and stuff, some of that got torn up, so.
They could certainly fix that.
Yeah,
I
I
wouldn't
wouldn't
hurt
look at it, but I don't.
No, I was thinking about the, kind of around the back of the gazebo, like not under the trees. I don't even know if wildflowers grow well in the shade. do they?
Certain ones.
Okay, but anyway, I think that in our communications with the folks that are doing this, we need to sensitize them to, we have other uses for the triangle as
Yeah.
well.
And I think they'll accept that. I
Yeah.
do too. I don't think it's gonna be a problem.
And I kind of like to be,
Sure. And Augusta Park, other than like the play areas, I think it's pretty much open season.
Yeah, it'd be pretty good.
Yeah, and the rain garden could use a lot of it.
yeah, we have some, that's in the budget.
Is it raining now? Oh.
Is it raining?
Just might be.
That's the air conditioner.
Oh, no.
But I heard.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
So what-
And the Veterans Memorial is also another great place to do it because not that many people, it's right there at the entrance. It would look nice. It doesn't have much traffic in there.
Right.
So the only real issue, I think, is the triangle, isn't it?
That would be the biggest obstacle. Jane Little, I already spoke to Jane Little. There's already blue bonnets down at the entrance. But she said she is not adverse to this idea that they're supposed to coordinate through her.
Okay.
Because she maintains, mostly, her and her group maintain it.
Mhm. Yeah, it's just good for all of us to talk to each other
Yeah.
about what's going on.
Yeah.
It's,
And there's flower beds to the front. They could do
Yes,
it in
ma'am.
the flower beds and not.
I'm agnostic on that. I don't know what anybody else.
It's very hard to get wildflowers to grow in grass because they have to touch the soil,
Mhm.
and it's not that easy. You're really supposed to prepare the soil when you throw seeds out. But
Not, well, you're gonna have a lot of soil places among the grass in most of what we have here.
have you ever thrown out bluebonnet seeds?
Yeah.
They take 3 years to bloom, right?
No,
I never had any of them.
They have to go through a couple of freeze cycles, that's my understanding. I've tried planting them, that's.
It's easier just to plant a plant or two and then let that go to seed.
Right.
But when they do come up though, it's pretty awesome.
Oh, no, I work. So you and Becky want to be involved in this?
Yeah. that'd be
I'm
fine.
talking to them, okay. Then I will back away other than just making my comment that I want our, the triangle to be useful for events with the
and then you
gazebo as
give
well.
her our contact information.
Okay, okay, so,
In James.
She's got.
And Jane.
Oh, yeah,
Sure,
yeah.
Jane, for
yeah, James,
You know, just one email with everybody's name on it?
the, yeah, sure, thing, so you
Yeah.
talk to her.
Are you gonna do that, or?
I can.
Okay.
Make it easier than all.
Yeah, it'd be better if it came from staff anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We don't
Okay, so now we, move back to item number 2. Spooktacular. And, I think, would you like to address that?
So I will not be here this year for this, and so I'm very sorry and I'm very concerned because I'm gonna have to get with Karen. I don't know who else to ask to try to head this up, because I leave the 17th of October. And it is, as y'all can see, it requires a great many volunteers, the coordination. Everybody who's there has to know all of this. And I don't know if anybody would
Well-
like to volunteer. You know, they work with me till I leave. We have gotten some of the candy bags already, and I ordered all gifts. But,
And we never got a layout from Karen.
no, but I can still get with her and just we'll sit down together and just put it on this.
Okay,
Okay.
I can pretty that up if you need to, or if you guys can do your own nice version of it if you want to.
But,
Um,
yeah, so what we have here today is all the different activities that have to be handled for this to be successful. And I know it'll get done, you know. But,
Well, then Cody and I are gonna kind of do our usual stuff with,
Pat and I can take care of most of the gross setup on it,
yeah,
like the trailer, hay bales, tables,
or the, porta can.
get a porta can out here, trash can out, both out there, the golf carts. Probably get ice too. I mean, there's setting up of the games. That's the next big thing to have in place.
Yeah,
oh, and let me interject one other slight problem. That weekend is my wife's 50th high school reunion. And I will be back, we will be coming back Sunday morning from Galveston. And so I will be back, I'll be back like half a day before it happens. But a lot of this stuff hopefully can be done, let's say on Thursday or maybe even Friday.
How many hay bales do y'all need?
60. Got 54 last year, I believe.
Oh, we have
Yeah, I remember 50 something.
We say
But,
8.
so for the parade barricades, we need city council to get involved in this. That's where we need to get some people to help with this.
see, I don't know enough women in that to, you know, make these phone calls and stuff, so I'm gonna try to get that information from Karen.
Yeah, in the back of my mind, I've just been a little nervous about this event not coming off.
Yeah,
Well, last year there were a lot of volunteers.
yes.
Many, and they were, I was
Karen
assigned
did it.
one thing,
Karen's
but,
a volunteer magnet.
okay.
Yes.
Well,
Well,
maybe if she shares those emails, you know, if you could send out an email to everyone saying, you know, would you like to do the same job again? And then see what your response you get from there, and then we can fill the holes. from
Well,
there.
and I've been talking to Suzanne and Kevin about the city email blast coming out with the various volunteer opportunities that we have,
What
and
about
then
sign
social
up?
media as well.
Sign up Genius too. I've never used it, but you know, when I do stuff at Barnabas, you know, they come out, you know, way ahead of time and you sign up for an afternoon and it's just, and then it sends out an automatic reminder that you signed up for it and I've never used it, but I don't know, it's just an idea. So not for this, I think it would be quick enough for this. I think that's,
The focus is we have to decide on different areas and get people to do that area, like the games. Like somebody should be in charge of all the volunteers for the games.
Oh, okay.
Somebody should be in charge, probably of all the volunteers for the setup and the road closures.
What do you think about dividing up into teams?
That's what I'm wondering, something like that.
Can we get a
And
team
even-
captain from city council to lead each team, possibly?
That's a
Pat,
good
Pat
idea.
and I'll take care of all.
What does our liaison think of that
What do
idea?
you think?
Well, I'm already kind of hurt because Cody's already taken a couple of my jobs.
Oh, I bet he'll share.
Yeah,
I bet he
What
will.
jobs would you like to take from Cody?
Oh, I'll definitely do the ice and icing down the water
Oh,
and,
thank you, Bob. Thank you.
and we'll just keep finding other stuff, the pumpkin cutout, the tables, we can do a lot of these things.
Yeah, and that's what we just need to know who it is that's going to be responsible for it.
Yeah.
So,
And getting volunteers from our community will give them some participation as well, other than just participating in Spectacular itself, but the background of it.
yeah, because we still need to pass out the notices on the streets that, Elizabeth did, that, when the roads are gonna be closed, so the residents know not to be.
And staff can help with that a little bit.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did about that last year.
Yeah, I
Let
can-
that
I
up.
can ask you
Easy
some
one
of
for
that,
me.
yeah.
I'm training for a race that can up to their door.
Well, she could be the fastest person.
I think we equaled a section last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in other words, say like, hey, Elizabeth, would you like to be in charge of that thing again?
That is an easy thing for me to be in charge
Okay.
of. Being in charge of too many things that
Yes.
weekend with three
Yes.
children that I have to get ready for every Halloween
Exactly.
event under the sun, it kind of makes me want to throw up.
Okay.
But a little notice.
But remember, you're wanting to get the golf game things. You're wanting to position yourself well.
So when.
Oh.
Win the golf game.
You'll be there for that.
Oh, okay. Over someday. But that would be, he won last year. Is he really gonna win 2 years in a row?
Oh.
I mean,
I don't know.
He was a really.
Oh, and the other thing that a big elephant in the room thing is the costume contest. The costume contest was like a marathon last year. It lasted forever.
I thought so too.
Different
Long.
And John Odell, I heard him on the radio saying, "Oh, we've got that figured out." And he said, on the little kids, we're going to stick their first names on the backs of their shirts when
Yes.
they go up. Because he was imitating how the little kids answered him on the way. Said, "And what's your name, little girl?"
It needs to be name and what they are. And then
Oh,
it's
their
just like,
costume.
this is Sarah, she's the zombie ballerina. Like, the interactions are cute.
Yeah,
And that'll really
that's
slow
a really
things
good
down.
idea, yeah.
So in here, we did kind of divide for y'all to see, it's 3 and under, 4 to 7, 7 to 11, and the 10.
Where is that?
That's on this page with all my little scribbles all over it that I've made notes on, y'all, about the 4th page in. So you can
Page
know
7.
kind of, whatever page it is.
And we have your names. One, we have.
Good,
You
yeah,
have one?
we
Okay.
ordered some Halloween.
Okay.
So that brings us to this, and we have, we have these, and ordered those,
Sure.
and we're not gonna make clothes for them.
No, we just,
So she talked about,
You could get Barbie.
yeah. Yeah, they are. So what color, do we put different colors, we thought about putting pom-poms with the hot glue gun on their heads, different colors for different categories, do we wanna decide, so I know what to do, or?
Maybe for the little kids you do that, but if I had a pom-pom on, I think it's very cool looking just the way it
I
is.
think so too, and we can,
And I would put that up in my office with the pom-pom, I'd have to think twice.
okay, so let's not put the pom-poms on, we can.
well,
do
you
some-
could do some for little girls, because
That's
we
what
got
I'm
a lot of fun. You could make some feminine ones and leave the guy things,
But some parents don't want anything to be gender, they want it all to be gender neutral too, so.
Okay, but
Really?
gray pom-pom.
If your daughter wants for her costume.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm just oversensitive. But we have these little labels. So these labels go on there, and we can write what category they're for or have them printed. Or even clear labels would be better with print on them. I'll try to get.
Yeah,
purple.
because that way. it's-
Yeah, we'll try to do clear labels.
We
Okay.
just got some them in or something.
Oh, okay, so the same on these.
I don't even have
Jeff can figure that out, he does that.
on, they're saying.
But anyway, I think the outcome,
2023 spectacular.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Well, you know what,
Yeah.
Monica, you could make some that you could just put on right at the last, if you wanna leave them blank. And if you wanna say, if you wanna categorize them by the
No, I
age.
think,
Becky did.
no,
That works better.
I think the simpler the better, and it
Actually, it was my idea, but.
spectacular 2023 on them, I just think that will be fun.
Okay, that's what I think, which is.
Yes.
Here.
one comment I heard last year in the costume contest is that it would be a whole lot better if you had the whole group go up there and stand. And maybe John Odell walks behind them or something,
That would be.
and just says, this person is something, this person. And maybe with the older ones, you don't even have to say what they are, you just look at them.
Yeah,
And so instead of having each person go up and do the Miss America type thing, you know,
I think, yeah.
you just have the whole group, because this thing shouldn't take longer
It
than
seemed
like
like
30
it went
minutes.
on
It took
and on.
hours.
It took longer than the one at Duval.
Yeah, and, you know, like, all the kids get recognition, and so, but what are you, how are you gonna choose, you're just gonna choose the winner then, and?
The
The judges will just say,
Look at them all.
they
in
look
front.
good, that looks good.
So
That'll
you do all the 3 and unders all at one time, and then the
That's
first 7 at
great.
one time.
And then they'll come down and find out, so they're not gonna be up there and they're gonna say, that one's first place.
They're gonna jump off the stage.
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
You're happier for a second.
I'm thinking,
Okay. So we need to get the information to the city for the different jobs, the opportunities. that
Well,
are
now,
available.
let's just go down the list.
Okay,
So
What page do
we
you
have
want us on? Front?
the front page, the
Okay.
city entry form, I think you have already, right?
Which one first?
For the parade.
Parade entry form.
Parade entry forms all have. So that would be part of that email blast, I guess, that would say, contact the city to get a form,
now,
right?
can they register online?
I think we did last year,
Yes.
didn't we?
I think so.
Okay,
Maybe that should be the way to do it.
yeah, that's a lot easier.
So, in the advertising, I'll do that.
Yes.
The street
Closure
closing,
notice, distribution, Elizabeth is gonna, and her
I
group
would be like,
will do that. Now, the road closure, that's up here at the front with all the. that's-
city staff and, I think we had a sheriff's deputy, didn't we?
yeah, did you take an action item to hire a cop? I'm sorry, the sheriff, you're fine.
Constable.
A law
So
enforcement official.
Suzanne, you will call and make arrangements to have a constable?
I'm gonna ask first the Hayes County Sheriff that
Sure.
is doing our patrols and see if she's
Okay.
interested in that.
That's the way we got them last year, is I collared the guy here in the office and said, would you do it, please?
yeah.
You know, because nobody, they put it in and 2 weeks later, nobody signed up.
Okay.
Get it early.
And the earlier we do it, the better.
I think I was going to a minute ago.
And then you have all the barrier,
Yes, ma'am.
barricades, stay in the cones.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Danny
so
Jones helped with that last year. Jane Little
Jane,
and I kind of worked on the lineup of the parade.
but.
Is Jan gonna help us with this year?
If she's
just
here,
back. I know she's back now.
She seems to really enjoy doing it, so. I mean, we
Shall I
talked about it.
We
Yeah,
we need Jan.
Okay,
Yeah,
yes.
Jane's good with that.
For the lineup, are we talking? about?
Parade
Yes.
lineup and check,
Right,
and she's
yeah.
kind of like the person that goes around tapping everybody on the top of the.
She's the enforcer.
The enforcer.
That, you need that there.
Okay.
The road closure, we just need miscellaneous volunteers.
Well,
City staff and council.
Not that
Yeah.
big.
Yeah.
okay,
I'll
Bob,
do it.
thank you, Bob.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll do it.
Well, it's just making,
I can make people stop, that's no
well,
problem.
it's not that, you know, those barricades they had at some of them, so the people would understand that you could step out.
Yeah,
just for the 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Or so, 45 minutes.
explaining them very nicely, yeah,
Yes.
coming in here.
Yeah,
Go around the camping circle if you wanna go.
Yeah,
okay, festival setup and breakdown is everybody.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
on our, but
This is what I can do for that, everything I've circled on there. When I'm done with that, I'll pitch in all the rest of them.
Now, I'm gonna talk to Karen about all the games, just to go over them again, and then we'll hopefully have another meeting.
Okay.
Okay, so Orin,
Do you think Karen might do that?
I wish she would, maybe if we just ask her just to be in charge of the games, you
And
guys,
that's all.
and the volunteers.
For the game?
That'd be awesome, if she would just take over the games. that'd be
Yeah.
good.
be here, she told me during that time.
Yes, but
And
okay,
last
y'all,
year, she
I like
told me she
this,
would help.
because I was like, okay, let me see if she
She's
would do the
feeling,
games.
feeling a little guilty that she's not doing what she's done in the past, because she's been slammed with,
All these
Oh, I-
other, you
yeah.
know.
She just finished.
Wimbledon. Yeah.
I wanted that.
You heard that?
I got one of them.
Oh.
I mean,
well, I heard your name being called, yeah.
Oh, did
Okay.
you?
Now, the judges, she gave me the names of the judges, I thought I moved them in here somewhere.
Yeah, the
Oh.
judges are, oh, and did we put our, master of ceremonies?
No, I didn't, thank you.
Master of ceremonies, John Odell, he's already signed himself up for it without even being asked.
So is that along with the judges?
I think he's not a judge, he's like the master of ceremonies, he's
Okay.
the one up there with the mic.
With the
I would hazard that he is the most qualified person to organize, to figure out the organization of how that runs on the stage. Well, I mean, Pat's already, we already said,
Well,
he already said he has all those ideas. He's the subject matter expert, we ought to let him organize what goes on the stage.
Yeah.
I think that's
Absolutely.
definitely should let him do that.
But we can give him the idea of the whole road.
Yeah.
that is up
Yes,
there
and
instead
the
of-
Well,
name
I think that was.
I heard that is his idea. But
No.
no, rain.
No, and
Oh. Brenda.
the big gotcha that we had with that last year was the sound.
Yes.
And Jeff has said that he is bringing sound.
Okay.
He said he was gonna cop the church's, sound system,
Mhm.
bring it.
Okay.
And
Okay.
we're
He can't
counting on that.
If he can't get a PA, I can get one.
We really need to test that out to make sure it really is gonna work and not wait till. the day.
Okay,
Yeah.
he's good at that.
Okay, good.
In worst case, I have a PA, but it's so ponderous from the community chorus that,
I have somebody, a really good one I can borrow.
okay.
They use it for safety meetings.
Well, so are you option one or is Jeff option
Let's
one?
do
Go with
that.
Jeff
Yeah.
first.
Okay.
I'm gonna have my hands full.
I know, that's what I was, don't do everything.
With this, no, I'm not, it's just, just the stuff that just requires brute force and ignorance.
That's me.
Like me.
Yes, you guys,
Uh,
we love you for it, so yeah.
Sure.
So the games, you guys, the prizes you guys are already working. on.
Yeah, I've ordered enough, I think, okay, so the golf costume, this will be John Hotel for the costume. Okay, now y'all, one of the things Karen said is that we should do the golf cart prize awards first thing. And on the speaker, we can ask everybody to come back to their golf carts to award the prizes for that.
And that's really good because sometimes the golf cart, the whole thing is the people in the golf
Yes,
cart
they need to be
completing
sitting.
the
Yeah.
decoration.
Yes.
Because there were some steampunk people, I really loved that they had a steampunk golf cart, and they were all dressed up steampunk.
Oh,
stuff.
wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
And-
what's
and
steampunk, Pat, some of us.
That's what that was
only
for years.
It's like high technology in Victorian England.
Oh, holidays.
You think Jules Verne,
Yeah.
3,000 lasers. That's-
That one Smashing Pumpkins music video, you know.
Yeah.
I missed not.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice,
The difference is.
Okay,
that's a
and
good
now, and now, Bob, you're gonna take care of the water, the nice little.
Yeah, no, is the water gonna be here already? What,
Well, I used to buy it, so if you don't mind, just get those, I think those little short
And how many?
bottles are the best.
how many
And,
cases?
well, we have, we're supposed to have 150 bags for the children. I'd say at least 300.
300 small bottles.
Yes, and I just would go either to Walmart or
Costco.
Costco, but they don't sell the little bitty short ones.
do.
They do now?
I do, I get them for every kid's birthday party, they're
Okay.
8 ounces, so it's like,
They're about
Cheaper
8 ounces or
inside.
so, it is 6 or 8 ounces each.
I
Yes,
don't think they
it's
make
little.
6 ounces, the 8 ounce are pretty
But
small.
then you have to also get your igloos and stuff like that off.
I only have about 3,
Okay.
I'm gonna need some more.
Well, that.
I
What
don't
if-
know.
Everybody has,
That's fine. Okay.
or,
Yeah. Could you be in charge of finding out before you get them?
And we only need them for that water, is that correct?
yes.
I have one John.
Yeah.
That's great.
I know, yeah, and Pat, you'll do the music again?
Yeah,
The
and,
music?
and we need, yeah, I've already got that on my phone right now, so
Okay.
it's fine. But we need to pipe it through something you can,
Oh,
but the
sounds-
question is, if it's too loud, is it oppressive?
Yeah, and I hate when things are too loud and you can't talk to people.
Yes.
I agree.
And
But
you're,
I think for the parade,
yeah, what are you piping it in through the parade?
How will you do
I
that?
have a boom box.
Or just on yours?
Okay, anyway,
Oh, the other suggestion is that we have every golf cart drive through the triangle and judges will be sitting on the gazebo. And so they will see
that
them
could be the
then,
judge's stand.
they will see them then, and then by the time everybody gets through and they come down, they'll know.
And we can put the blue
No,
lights in and let people, let them
But-
drive. the golf carts and get the
You know,
people.
it's October,
Wait a second, what do you mean drive around the triangle?
no, I think through, like.
Just cut off of Wood Creek, go over by the
We'll
casino.
look at that.
and go-
Yeah.
Good golf range. Yeah.
Just so the judges can see them all.
Well, it's kind of neat to use it as a judge's stand.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
um,
yeah.
Last year, there were so many volunteers for games that I ended up just sitting by a treat bag table. The treat bags and the water were together.
Okay,
I'll be glad to do that and get the treat bags
I'll tell Karen.
from you.
Yes.
And here somebody else will do the game.
Well,
I
and
can
the,
do
and the
that.
treat bags apparently are handed out fairly early, so you're kind of done with that at some point.
Well, it wasn't that way.
It wasn't last time.
They just came, there were maybe 2 tables, 2 long tables. And we just put treat bags
Yes.
on the table.
Mhm.
And when they saw it, they came and got one.
Uh-huh.
and those aren't
And
prizes,
but that went
those are
on and
just.
on and on. They didn't all get it at the
Okay.
same time.
Okay.
I'll sign my wife up as a volunteer for
Oh,
I
well,
can,
she-
my son's old enough, I can teach him a lot for sure. What's that?
She doesn't feel like she needs to be with the kids.
Well, my son's old enough, I can keep him
He's
alive.
the youngest.
Now, speaking,
We know, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I couldn't.
That when we know how many people we need for the games, like for me, I just have no concept of how many people, how many games there are. I think that we can find volunteers when we give them really specific jobs.
That's it. So
I just
it's
have
on,
no
it's
idea.
on this page, right here. There's the list of the games right there. Pumpkins in a row, that's the hula hoop. The pumpkin bowling, we're not doing the ping pong. Balance the pumpkin on the head, I don't even know about that one. And the slides,
Well,
and
the
then,
slide we don't need, yeah.
yeah, hay bale throwing. We had one that we haven't purchased, but what do y'all think about the eyeball in a spoon relay race for the, kind of the young teens or,
yeah.
Egg in the spoon thing.
yeah,
Eyeball.
But that's gonna mean you have to get a group together and 1, 2, 3, go. I
at
think,
least maybe 3 or 4.
That's a little-
yeah,
It's hard.
I
I haven't bought this yet.
because the way I saw everybody was going in different directions. It's not like you have one group of people in
Yeah.
a class that you're working with and saying you're doing this and that.
Okay,
And I
so-
see on that.
Yeah.
But y'all could be thinking of something else. for the
Okay.
older.
Can we put this list on the email, or is that too specific?
Well, see, now, if we were to ask Karen to take care of all the games and who the volunteers are,
Oh, if she was willing to do that.
so let me ask it on tomorrow. I'll let on you. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, we also talked about getting a photographer, y'all, a volunteer photographer, so that we have a little better picture.
Well, we could just put that out on the city.
Be that.
Oh,
But see, you,
we don't require that.
Oh.
No.
Associate's degree, it's more like.
Okay, then she's the official, sorry.
I said, use my iPhone.
No, that's
As
not.
long as you're not gonna be involved in something else, but somebody needs to be taken.
Okay, but you know, if I end up doing something else, we'll figure out something.
Yes.
Well, and I have a good iPhone that I take a lot of
Right.
pictures on.
Right.
And if you get Karen out there, she goes nuts.
So yeah, it's not we can figure that out.
Okay.
But, yeah, I think the first thing is to know where, from Karen, if she wants to do this, and if not, get these volunteers' names that were there last year and see who wants to sign up, because somebody might actually really want to do what they did last year, let's get to the opportunity
Yeah.
first, and then we can.
It's a fun event to be involved in.
Yeah,
It really is.
It
I mean,
is.
It's just much
I
fun
love
to see
it.
everybody having such a good time. Okay, so,
And Double J, we talked to,
now, and then there was some discussion about the need for a timeline for the adults to know what's supposed to be happening. Agenda, an agenda at the event.
Put it next to the tree bag.
So like a 2 foot by 4 foot
But
sign or a
something
couple
like
of those.
that.
well,
Yes.
okay, so,
It's right here, the schedule of events. See, it says the kids' costume, the pet costume, adult costume,
okay, I will do that.
okay.
And I'll,
And maybe just on a half sheet or a small piece of paper, just something,
no, it's gonna be probably this big.
you don't think.
Yeah,
But are you saying it would be good to have like
Little
pocket ones
ones,
too?
yes.
She's saying, have it, to
Oh.
see, I guess.
And maybe at the table.
But then it's like,
Becky,
I have a
or-
laminator or
If-
something.
No, don't do, but at the table, if.
Where I have where all the, yeah. I was
Say,
just putting
like,
myself.
But I think it would be handy to have a big one too.
Oh, I do too.
I don't want to use our sandwich board that we use in entrance.
Yeah,
That way we all drive.
is that a 24 by 36?
It's that big. It's in
Oh,
all.
that's right there.
Does it have inserts or do you have to use the black letters?
Individual letters.
We just need something to stick, but he can put a,
Oh, no,
Can you do
no, I
that?
don't need it, never mind.
okay.
I've got the community chorus sandwich board that I can use because we won't be needing it at that time.
Starving, you're talking about sandwiches.
Okay, we're almost done.
That's fine.
And then, I can call on it.
Can you schedule a porta potty?
I'm
Okay.
not, was that crazy? I thought she was saying something about
She's bringing the trailer,
the toilet.
Oh, yeah.
the trailer. was
No, she's not bringing it. It is nailed down where it is,
Okay.
and it's not that close to the.
No, it's what they will have when they don't have their building. Okay, never mind.
But we talked about getting kind of an upgrade on the toilet, right?
And then-
And it actually has a little water.
But really, I've talked to him about that. I think it's too far from the event, and if,
Okay,
you had some
That's
little kid, let's say
No, that's
Walker
fine.
goes to the bathroom and maybe he does it without telling you guys.
get 2 ADA porta potties.
2 ADA porta, so that'll be a little
The
bit.
cost will be almost nothing for a single day. I mean,
Well, the ADAs are a little bit more expensive, but don't worry about it. Yeah, it's just about $200.
They're way better.
Oh, yeah.
Way-
Because we really want enough room for a child and a parent to go in there.
Yes.
And place to watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that
Okay,
idea
good.
myself.
You're gonna be excited. Okay, I think that's it.
You wanna talk about inflatables for a second?
Oh, yes, we want to hear about the inflatables.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna spend about $250 more than we spent last year because they have a new inflatable that's 70 feet long. So I'm gonna get a 70.
Oh, we have room.
Is that gonna fit with the trailer?
Oh, yeah, everything.
Okay.
It's worth it. We put 10 out there. The thing is, I accidentally reserved a 46 footer and I don't like it, so I'm gonna get a 68 and a 70.
Okay. So about 250 more.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend about 250 more than I did last year.
Okay, is one of them fairly suitable for Rugrats?
Sure.
Oh, yes.
The likelihood is somebody who can do slow.
Okay.
Unless a big kid jumps on a little kid.
Well, no,
Oh, that's one thing we need to do.
y'all are supposed to.
No, we need to get a volunteer person to be kind of filter the 2 age groups.
Okay,
Say,
I know.
you're the wrong one, go over here.
I mean, how about 2 people, one at each one?
Well, yeah, you could almost use 2 people because I stopped some very close accidents. I mean, your kid was nearly squashed by a big kid one time.
Oh, yeah.
So you
Because he wouldn't get out.
You
kids that go in there? You guys are limiting them.
No, it's the size.
We're
We're trying to divide the age groups up to an extent.
One of them's gonna be,
All right,
and we've got a height.
okay, and they,
Let all the age groups play on one for a minute and then just, I don't have to switch sort of. I mean, it's not gonna be perfect. But at
oh,
least there'll be
I get what
20
you're
kids
saying.
jumping on top of little kids, not be one.
So, well,
I mean, we can't police
You know,
the environment, there's too many kids, I mean, you see the number of kids we had last year?
I know,
There's lots.
there's a lot of parents stuff and they need to
But
be
we,
involved.
we can enlist some parents to help with that too.
Yeah. I still think we need somebody there looking over the side,
Oh,
because there are some kids that play very aggressively in those things. And maybe I'm just unaccustomed to it, but
No, I agree with
when
you.
I see this big kind of hill, and I see a 12-year-old kid jumping down, and there's a 2-year-old at the bottom, he's
No,
gonna land on.
Well, at least,
That
I
scares
don't think it's all
Well,
not to do that.
it's better argument to do like a really awesome one and then like kind of a dinky one that like.
Well, that's kind of what we had last year.
Dinky, what else?
I remember the two biggest ones they had last year.
Totally age.
Yeah.
Well, one of them was substantially less than the other, wasn't it?
You know, I,
Yeah, but they've upgraded this year.
But now, can you
Why
divide
don't
it
you
by
just say
state?
it's the 46 one that you think is a little less?
I'll tell you that, all along that, but when they show up, it's gonna be the biggest ones they have.
Okay, that's fine.
no, but are you still gonna separate it by height, aren't you? You're gonna separate it by height?
That's what we did last year.
We can moderate the behavior, I think, Pat and I can, or we can enlist a couple of other parents that have loud voices, and we can moderate the behavior, it'll be fine, it was fine last year and the year before.
I
It'll be
think
fine.
it needs to be two
I
minutes.
just don't want to be lashed to it the whole.
No.
time.
I don't think
And I felt like I was a
Yes.
lot last year.
Okay, can,
Let me think about that, maybe I can get some help on that.
Okay.
yeah, do you have some neighbors or somebody that might?
I mean, some of my friends are gonna be there with their kids too, huh?
Somebody's used to yelling at the kids.
All my friends have kids.
It seems like a hand, like my husband could do it for a while.
Yeah, just so
I think like if anyone do it the whole time, you know, have 5 people that, you know, tap in and
Yeah.
tap
That would be great.
Okay, so y'all be thinking about this.
So, does that give you a good enough
Yeah,
start?
we've got a real good start, actually.
So I know this is a little late to be asking this question, but is it Saturday the 29th?
Sunday.
Sunday the
Sunday
30th.
the 20th.
Sunday the 29th.
So,
Yeah, because we were fortunate the last 2 years that the night before Halloween was on a weekend. But this year it's not, so we
It's
have.
Tuesday, isn't it?
So when is Blue Hole doing theirs? They do theirs
Saturday.
Saturday?
For the next.
that we don't have to choose.
No,
My kids wanna go to both.
yeah, sure.
Well, that's what I was trying to avoid.
Yeah.
We don't want
Perfect.
it there.
I mean, Halloween basically turns into a week.
Oh my
You're
gosh,
gonna-
it's like, it's gonna be 5 or 6 days.
Like the Who's and Whoville of Halloween.
Well, you know, the goal of this, when we started out with the parade spectacular, is Wood Creek kind of owns Halloween in the valley
Yeah,
anyway,
they do.
just by the nature of it being the only little subdivision type thing where kids can go just house, 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 house. And it
There's
just,
not many places that are like that anymore.
it's a natural evolution from that to do something to capitalize on what we're already known for.
Right.
And the people here just, especially the Wood Creek Drive people, just absolutely go nuts with Halloween.
I give my extra candy to my friends that live on Wood Creek
yeah.
Drive because.
Yeah, they need
spend
it.
like $100-200.
Yeah.
I know.
We go over to Linda's sister who lives at 62 Wood Creek Drive. And all of the sisters and the husbands sit there and,
That's fun.
you know, drink a beer and hand out stuff to the kids and get to watch all, I mean, and we see the same people that we saw at Spooktacular coming by trick or treat. So we recognize the costumes a lot. Even some of the.
We trick or treat, every house, I'm gonna go look for Jenny. We gotta find Jenny. It's like scavenger hunt, where is Jenny?
I love Jane with this, she's really good, and hopefully we have our three-wheel, we hope we have our three-wheel motorcycle, leading the parade again.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they've done it the last 2 years.
So Ruthann, you're the point as far as volunteers at this point, is that right?
Yes, and that's actually.
That's you get Karen.
Karen would do, she would do the games, that'd be wonderful.
That'd be
And I think we'll be fine between city council and everybody else. getting all the other areas covered.
Well, and the advantage of doing city council, all the people that are
Right.
city council running for office gonna wanna be out there.
A non-political thing.
It's not political, but you can't erase your face.
I can't, I'm sorry, but I'm doing ice and water, there's nothing,
No, but you'll be out there.
But you'll see
I don't
everybody.
care, it really doesn't
There's
matter.
plenty to do.
Yes.
But we will in the announcement point out that there will be no business names or
Yeah.
political anything on any.
Well, yeah, there's school board people with like shirts.
Hey, oh, yeah, there's some
Yeah.
test state representatives that were.
Yeah, yeah,
It'd be really cool if we get somebody to fly a drone over this thing, do some photographs and video on this. Somebody in town can do it.
That guy that lives on, that guy that lives on Apollo, that, the yellow thing, he has a drone on.
oh, he has a drone now?
I mean, I could.
No, he has a little, mini airplane.
Yes.
Oh, he could maybe fly the mini airplane over.
Well, some drone footage
I
of the
don't
thing.
know.
Put it on the city website, maybe,
That would be
a
nice.
neat flyover video,
Yeah.
showing the extent of it, while those kids running the screen.
Oh, yeah.
That would be really
Awesome.
nice.
That's right.
And especially if the drone came down low, flew over the top.
It wasn't last year, but it's not gonna be full this year either.
Okay, anything else before we adjourn? Any other announcements, anything before we adjourn? Okay, thank you.
Roseanne, let me know what you find out from Karen. Believe me.